Back on Morning Line, that's our final segment with Amy Haverstick with us, Compassion in Action, Tennessee. Talking about, as you see on the screen, animal rescues in Tennessee, and you know, the dogs and cats, and you deal with horses, birds sometimes. I know the Animal Rescue Corps has monkeys, you name some of the critters people have. The number is 737-7587. Hey, we have a call from Michelle. Michelle, good morning.
Morning, Nick. I know you're an adoptive parent.
Sure, I am.
I got a couple of quick stories. I'm an adoptive parent, and I find my boy is more possessive of me, and he thanks me for adopting him. Also, my daughter just started volunteering up at New Leash on Life, and a friend of ours had just lost his pit bull, and he had always said when Jack went, he would go.
Oh.
And she found her first day up there 2 boys that they didn't want to separate, but would if they had to. And she told me about them and that they were meant for him. Well, to make a long story short, he ended up adopting these 2 boys.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
And he is like a kid in his 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a great story. So, yeah. He didn't go anywhere, and now he's got 2 new dogs that he loves just as much as the first one.
And they are puppies.
And they're puppies. Oh. That's good. Listen, thank you for that story. That's fantastic. You know, a lot of people have dogs, and you love them so much, and when one passes, it hurts. And you wonder if you want to go through that again and get another dog. And everyone has a time period, maybe. But bounce back, man. There's other ones there that you pick up where they left off.
You got more love to give, and I think that dog is there with you long enough to teach you that. And my parents lost their very old ancient poodle a while back, and nope, that's it. No more dogs.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because they weren't happy. There was that extra element was not there with them, and we went through several dogs of them checking it out and maybe doing a sleepover with it, and it was no go. And then Pickles came into the shelter. Pickles, and so she's a white poodle Bichon, and she's ornery and dog aggressive, and all these things.
Yeah.
That's their dog.
Perfect for them.
He said, my dad thanks me every day.
Yeah, see, you just have to find the right dog. And the right one, I guarantee you, is out there.
That's what I used to tell people. They'll come in and say, oh, well, we're here to get a dog. And I say, well, your dog might not be here today.
Yeah.
Go through and see.
Yeah.
But if it's not your dog, it's not your dog. You will know.
Yeah.
And it's probably not even the dog you were looking for.
Yeah, the problem for me or my wife is that you walk in there and every dog's our dog.
Yeah.
And some people are like that. Let's go to Jim. Jim, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Very interesting program. 27 years with German Shepherds, and the last one I had to have put down. I had her 14 years.
Wow.
She's like a member of the family. I had the vet come to my home. Oh. Whole family was here for the event. But if you have to put a dog on a chain, then you don't really need a dog. If you can't take care of them and put them in a safe, secure area, then you shouldn't have them. And I think it's great that they passed this law that you can't put those dogs out on a chain.
Me too. I think it's fantastic.
Any amount on a chain. I have a fenced yard, and I take very good care of them. And thank you again for taking my call. A very interesting program.
Hey, thank you very much for your call. And he's a good dog owner. He's right about German Shepherds. Our neighbor,
I have 2.
Jimmy, has a white German Shepherd who, it's coming to the end of the string for Bear, because I think he must be 14 years old at least.
That's old for a shepherd.
Maybe older than that. And he is such a great dog. Yeah. He's always been just the greatest dog. German Shepherds are awesome that
I have a white German Shepherd, Houdini, who came from the Sweethearts Rescue from Mingo, Kentucky, and his name's Houdini because he can climb a chain link fence just like he's walking upstairs. But he doesn't anymore because he knows where he lives, and there's an occasional incident, but he's that was my dog. I took him as a foster.
Yeah, so they're German Shepherd rescues, obviously.
Right? But I took him as a foster because he wasn't doing well in the shelter, and then I wouldn't let anybody adopt him. And so finally I told my husband, I said, I think we have to adopt Houdini. And he said, well, you're the only one that doesn't get that. Yeah. So he's been with us 3 years now, and then now we also have Max, the Black Shepherd, that was a rescue, and he lived the first 4 years of his life on a chain.
Gosh.
Now he sleeps on the bed.
You know, that just reminded me too. I think starting January 1st in the state of Tennessee, I think we're one of the first states in the country that is going to have an animal abuse registry.
Yes.
Am I correct on that? Because as you know, we have a sex offender registry. You're convicted of that, you end up on there, and you're stained for life, as you should be. Now, on the other hand, you know, we've got something now where I think if you're convicted, and I forget the nature or the level of the crime of abuse of an animal, there is going to be a registry where your smiling face will be for all to check on.
Exactly. That will be huge for rescue and for shelters.
How so? I mean, how do you think it'll impact? I mean, is it going to be a deterrent? I don't know. People who do these things don't think they're going to get caught, and then when they are, then they get nailed.
Well, then you've got all these different organizations that have their own, what we call it, the DNA list, the do not adopt list.
People that you know not to let them have.
Either through personal experience or through they've been
for instance, the lady that wants the dog to match the couch. You're not going to let her have a dog.
That would probably go on my do not adopt list. But it's to share all that information, and I think as a whole we do work pretty well to share that information amongst each other. But you don't necessarily all have the same list, and there'll be something come across that, you know, this individual is going through the state and adopting under these names, and you know, but then they're selling them on Craigslist, or they're, you know, doing whatever. Sure. Craigslist is, by the way, Craigslist is never a good place to.
I'm glad you mentioned that as well.
Get your dog a new home. Their rescue groups. I mean, to put it on Craigslist free to a good home, it would be better for you to take it to Metro.
Right. What you're doing there is trolling, and the people who are going to respond to that, a lot of the times, not all, but a lot of the times, are ones that have bad intentions.
And if you don't have experience with that, why would you know? I mean, it's not. It's hard to tell.
Right.
You know, the animal abuser doesn't come up with a shirt on that says animal abuser.
No, not at all. Exactly.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of cases of that where it's a problem. So that's also in like our contract, that you agree to never put this dog on Craigslist or free to a good home or anything like that. And groups should be willing to take that dog back in if they have space. You know?
Yeah, if they find that. Well, the registry, it'll kick in. I'll be curious to see how it works. But one of the first states to do that.
It could. It will be a great thing. One of Tennessee's problems is our laws are not where they should be.
Maybe strict enough on what the abuse is and all that. Listen, we just have a couple minutes left. I wanted to make sure we touch on at the heart of all of this issue, everything, and it would all be solved, frankly, most all of it, if people spayed and neutered their animals.
Yes.
So let's just hit on that. Again, we've done these shows, and I always do it with Allison Fields, our veterinarian. We pound that into your head time and again. But that's the bottom line, right?
Bottom line is spay neuter, and there are enough options around here that you should not have an spayed or neutered pet. You've got Pet Community Center here in Nashville.
There's ways you can get it done affordably.
Low cost spay neuter. You've got Sumner Spay Neuter Alliance in Gallatin. I believe there's one place in Murfreesboro, and the name is escaping me, and I'm sorry. But you can get your dog, you know, spayed for $50, $60, $70. Spaying a female dog prolongs its life. We're less likely to get mammary cancer or any kind of variant or cancer that females can get. It makes them healthier. Neutering a male dog, I know you hear all the time, well, it's a boy, I'm not going to do that to him. He doesn't care.
Nah.
He doesn't care that he no longer has those body parts.
And that's people putting human characteristics to the dog there.
It makes no difference to that dog if he has those or not. And he's much healthier and happier, and especially if you do it when they are very, very young, when they're puppies. It's like they,
it's nothing.
It's quick recovery.
And in some cases, maybe it can make them less aggressive, perhaps at least during certain times of the year. I don't know. Is that true? Maybe.
I don't know about that, but they can be calmer, and it's just I still in this day and age don't understand why someone would hesitate to do that. But I do recall back when in my early 20s when I had my first dog. The theory and the concept was, you wait till she has her first heat, and then this was 25 years ago. she did that, and I thought, why would you ever want to do this to her or to me? It was like it was terrible. So I got her fixed right away, and then that was when the spay neuter movement was really
but now
starting.
You don't have to wait for that. You can do it. Yeah,
you can do it. It's called pediatric spay neuter.
Yeah.
Some vets aren't quite on that wagon yet, but a majority of them are.
Because if you wait and they have their first seat, there's a chance she's going to get pregnant.
Right. I mean, what has she gotten out? It would have been horrible.
Just to wrap up real quick, let's remind folks again, the Turkey Trot 5K.
Yes.
I can handle a 5K. That's
There's also a 1 mile fun run.
What is that? That's like 3 miles is what it is. And a 1 mile fun run. It's Thanksgiving Day, Providence and Mount Juliet. It's the John Barker's Two Rivers Ford kind of co-sponsoring that, but it's going to be Thursday, November 26th.
Thursday, November 26th.
What time in the morning?
The fun run is at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And the 5K is at 8:30.
Yeah.
And registration will open at 6:30, but you can still register online right now through next Sunday.
Okay.
You just go to turkeytrot5k.org.
Yeah, I'll be out there. We'll be out there. I'll probably bring Betty out there. She's our little pug, and she'll run with me.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. It's fun because what I like about these runs, and there's a lot of great fun runs, a lot of them on Thanksgiving, frankly, but bringing the dogs out.
Yes.
The dogs are welcome, and you can just go trotting.
Everybody's welcome. It's strollers, leash dogs. Do please have your dog on a leash. But I think last year we had almost 200 dogs out there, and it was so much fun.
It was great.
We also encouraged costumes. Thanksgiving-themed costumes. One of my favorite costumes of all 5 years is a guy that was in the short running shorts. He was a serious runner, but he had on a pilgrim top.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he ran, and it's great fun.
And all the money then goes to
Compassion and Action
or a good
Tennessee.
portion of the money goes to Compassion and Action Tennessee, and you guys helping take care of the animals out there.
And it's a fun way to start your day. It's quick, it's painless, and
then you have
it's for a good cause.
No guilt eating the rest of the day. How about that?
Yes. Average Thanksgiving meal has over 3,000 calories.
I don't want to hear it.
So you can run it off, and then you can eat all the rest of the day.
Amy Haverstick, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was a good show, and as far as I'm concerned, you can't talk about this stuff enough. I hope a lot of people paid attention. I hope some come out, and I think my wife will be out there with mashed taters, so you can say hi to the three-legged wonder dog.
Yes, she's awesome.
Good having you on. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. I'll take a break, and I'll be back with a programming note about tomorrow right after this. Stay with us.